Coming up on the November 7th edition of Carolina Week.
No one wants to be high on this list. North Carolina has one of the worst hunger rates in the country.
I'm Natasha Vuklik, and I'll bring you the story of one man overcoming extraordinary obstacles.
In sports, we'll take you through the women's soccer team's quest for its 16th ACC tournament title.
Weathercaster Aaron Wallace will join us for our Carolina Week 4-day forecast.
Carolina Week starts right now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Hello and welcome to the Monday edition of Carolina Week. I'm Shaheen Sayal.
And I'm Philip Jones. North Carolina comes in fourth on the list of the highest hunger rates in the United States. And we're not talking about minor hunger pangs. Reporter Crystal Calloway is live in the studio with more. Crystal?
Phil, many North Carolinians are literally starving. At least that's what one study shows. Just take a drive along Franklin Street. It wouldn't take long to see at least one homeless face. Homelessness has been an issue in Chapel Hill for decades. And according to Kenny Hutchinson, the problem isn't getting any better.
I'm thinking in this town I can't even afford the most meager places to hang my hat.
The amount of people living in poverty in North Carolina is a lot greater than the number of those considered hungry. That's thanks in parts to shelters like these sponsored by the Interfaith Council, which provide food, a place to stay, and services for those in need.
Well, I'm about as low as you can get. When you have no car, no place to hang your hat. It's either by the grace of God there's a place like this, or you live outdoors like an animal.
But homelessness is just the beginning. The latest statistics say North Carolina has the fourth highest hunger rate in the country. Intense hunger is a feeling Hutchinson knows well.
In the 6 days I was in Statesville trying to hitchhike, somebody gave me a hot dog on the second day, and on the fifth day somebody gave me 2 hot dogs.
And that's all you had to eat?
Yes.
Hutchinson's friend Abraham Juradette says regardless of how hungry he gets, he's determined not to be a statistic much longer.
I don't give up. I can't live without the hope. Can I? I can't. I'm not one of those. I have to keep fighting, suffering, doesn't matter till I get what I want. And I want to live. I want to get back to my normal life.
For Juradette, that normal life was playing professional soccer, so anybody can wind up homeless and hungry.
Crystal, exactly how many people in North Carolina are affected by hunger?
Well, Phil, according to a study done recently at Brandeis University, about 5% of North Carolinians are starving. Our state ranks just behind neighboring South Carolina. Oklahoma and Arkansas are the worst off.
Some staggering news. Crystal Calloway in the studio. Thanks, Crystal.
Part of the media's job is to give voice to those without one. Thursday night, a panel discussion focused on how the media portray people living in poverty. The discussion was sponsored by UNC's Center on Poverty, Work, and Opportunity and brought together prominent journalists to talk about the media's role in representing those living in need. Center director and former U.S. Senator John Edwards moderated the discussion. The Wednesday follow-up discussion will center on lessons learned from how the media covered the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina.
It'll cost you more to travel this Thanksgiving, but there are some ways you can save money. Although gas prices are falling, the North Carolina average is still $2.48 a gallon. Last November, it was $1.96 a gallon. If you have travel plans, you can increase your miles per gallon with a few simple tips. AAA North Carolina suggests you reduce any unnecessary weight in your trunk, make sure you have regular tune-ups, check your air pressure in your tires, slow down, and drive calmly. Senior Siobhan Wallace says despite the high price of gas, she plans on keeping with a family tradition.
Yeah, this year, like always, we're going to my grandparents' house, which is about 2 hours away in Winston-Salem. But this year, we're only taking one car as opposed to 2 because of the gas prices.
AAA says it expects gas prices to fall a little more by the end of the year.
The university is continuing its drive to better serve its students and faculty. Dozens of people gathered on Franklin Street Friday for the official opening of a new Information Technology Services building. Attendees anticipated a tour of the building as Chancellor Measer conducted the ribbon-cutting ceremony. After the ceremony, people filed into the 5,000 square foot building that boasts a complex data room and 16 conference rooms. Another ITS building is scheduled to open later this year. Maybe we can expand those services to watch the Carborough Aldermen in action. The meetings of the group are now available online. This service won't cost the town any extra money or time, and written transcripts will still be available. Now it's easier for staff to make minutes of the meetings available and for residents to watch meetings at their convenience. However, the town says it won't be able to provide technical assistance for problems that might arise.
Carolina's new king and queen are basking in their homecoming glory. The candidates hit the field at Kenan Stadium hoping to hear their name announced. The suspense ended as Matt Mullane and Lauren Rennick took the crown as king and queen. Though many think it's just a title, these two say they have a commitment of service to the university community. Rennick's project is called Wild About Smiles. She'll travel around Orange County educating the community about proper dental hygiene. Mullane's service project is helping families in the Gulf Coast who suffered from the recent hurricanes. The king and queen say they plan to leave a legacy by getting the campus involved with the projects.
That's right, and the 2006 senior class, wants to leave a legacy of its own. Music filled the air as representatives announced the gift Monday afternoon. More than 1,000 students voted. The winning idea? A welcome sign in McCorkle Place. Marshals handed out information about upcoming events, and the first 150 seniors who came by got special gifts. The class will begin accepting donations for sign in early January. University leaders and students filled the lawn in front of McCorkle Place Saturday morning at the dedication of the Unsung Founders Memorial. The monument is a gift from the class of 2002 and honors enslaved and free people of color who helped build UNC. A cappella group Harmonics set the mood for the event, singing songs like "We Will Not Bow Down." Esper Foster's grandparents were brick masons for the university in the late 1800s.
It is the most important monument on this campus, and it's without them, the campus literally would not have been built.
Chancellor James Measer calls the memorial the best piece of public art on UNC's campus, and keynote speaker Bernadette Gray-Little says it sheds light on her family's undocumented history. Well, still to come on Carolina Week, another hero.
We'll have the story of one man's extraordinary journey to find his place in society.
I'm a lion!
Yes, you are. Come here. Let's see how this looks.
Hey, how's my little horse?
She's a lion.
Yes, she is.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. When you adopt a child from foster care, just being there makes all the difference.
It's springtime in the forest of the black-tailed deer. The young male is feeling playful. It's time for tag. The female flicks her ears. Her way of saying, "Catch me if you can."
This summer, Carolina Week reporter Natasha Vukovic traveled to Africa to document the work of World Camp, an organization led by a UNC alumnus. While there, she met a special member of Malawi's parliament and joins us from the Freedom Forum with his remarkable story.
Thanks, Phil. Clement Shawaya is 34 years old. He was born and raised in Malawi. He lives in a society in which manual labor is essential for survival. But for Clement, survival had to take a different form.
Every achievement we have seen in the world, it starts with a small step. My name is Clement. I'm the first disabled person to become a member of parliament in this country. This is my story of who I am. In 1973, I was attacked by polio. In Malawi, a lot of people look at a person with a disability as a burden,
I am seeking any help, assistance from you.
because probably their whole life they'll have to depend on someone.
You're a disabled blind man.
My mother would carry me on her back, to school every day to the age 12. People were saying that why she's spending so much time trying to raise a disabled person. What would he amount to? Because of ignorance, kids would just shout at me, no, he cannot walk, he cannot run after me. The Bishop of Mangochi Diocese spotted me and put me in a convent where the nuns took care of me. They helped me understand what it meant to be me. I went through the primary school. I went to a secondary school. In a year that saw about 96,000 students, where only 6,000 could make it, I was one of them. I was willing to pursue a dream and go and attend higher education. I left and went to United States, Grand Rapids, Michigan. The people there just welcomed me in their homes, gave me everything so that I could go to college. I don't know why they trusted me so much. They will never realize how thankful my family is. They will never measure that gratitude that we have. I graduated in college in 2002. When I came back home, I basically wanted to be an advocate for people with disabilities. And I started a campaign. When my party endorsed my name and said this is the one, the whole country was surprised. There were news articles, opponents who were saying, how can you elect someone who is disabled to represent you? It was rough. There were times when I could go back, lie down on my bed and ask myself, why did I start this? But I had the conviction that people have to view me as someone equal. I was the only one who won the election so convincingly that I could surpass my contender by almost half of the votes. Indeed. It has been a journey that sometimes when I look at what I have and the challenges that were put ahead of me, to me it seems like a miracle. If I retire, I would be very happy that I came, I saw, and I probably conquered.
Because of the attention Clement has brought to the plight of the disabled in Malawi, the country now has its first ever legislation addressing the issue.
What a truly remarkable and inspirational story. Natasha Vukovic reporting from the Freedom Forum.
Former Secretary of State Colin Powell is having an active retirement. He was at Duke on Friday and talked about his life after retirement, 9/11, technology, and diplomacy. Powell says after 9/11, security needed to be tightened, but that led to anti-Americanism. He says the government is combating that by being less stringent on visa approval for students.
If you think washing your hands kills germs, you're right. In the largest, most comprehensive study of its kind, UNC researchers found that using simple soap and water was effective at removing 90 to 99% of bacteria on hands. And you don't have to rub your hands for long. A 10-second wash is just as effective as a 30-second wash. Most soap will kill viruses and bacteria like the common cold, so you don't need to buy special antibacterial soap. The researchers found that moist antimicrobacterial towelettes aren't as effective as soap and water at killing bacteria. Well, Shaheen, I know that the calendar says November, but this weather outside has been so warm, it's like the end of summer again.
That's right, Aaron. I walked out the door this morning to go to the gym, and I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and I felt great.
I know, it was a really beautiful morning. Warm temperatures, you look outside, the leaves are changing on the trees, but despite the leaves changing and the beautiful fall colors, it feels more like summer outside. I'll tell you how long these warm temperatures are going to last coming up.
This is Mommy's bed. Me and Jenny were jumping on it. Mommy's gun fell on the floor. I was a cowboy. Bang, 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 bang. I said, Jenny, wake up, it's just pretend. But she wouldn't wake up.
shop in Orange County, your money comes back to you.
Thank you for shopping Orange.
So shop Orange and see what a difference you can make.
Hi, and welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm weathercaster Erin Wallace here with a check of your weather headlines. It may look like November outside, but it feels more like September, with temperatures running about 10 to 15 degrees above average for this time of year. We will have a cold front pass through the area on Wednesday night into Thursday, which will give us a chance to catch up on some much needed rainfall, and will cool down our temperatures to more seasonable levels. So if we look at the satellite map, we actually, believe it or not, had a cold front move through the area Sunday night into Monday. Just dropped our temperatures from around 80 to around 75. We've got clear skies and good high pressure right over North Carolina for the time being, and we do have a cold front that's settled right back up here in the northern plains that's going to be moving through on Wednesday. So if we look at the surface map, we can see that more clearly. Again, here's this cold front that came through Sunday night and Monday. We've got a big ridge of high pressure, and the winds just circle clockwise around that high pressure. And so right now, our winds are calm because the high pressure is directly above us. But then we do have this cold front that's up right here in Minnesota and North and South Dakota. It's going to move down into our area Wednesday night into Thursday. It's a very fast-moving cold front. It's going to drop our temperatures significantly, and we may see a chance for some rain out of that. We are about 8 inches under the average for this time of year currently, so any rain that we will get will not be enough to rectify that, but any rain is good rain. So if we look at the 4-day forecast, we can see our temperatures Tuesday into Wednesday, upper 70s into the low 80s. Wednesday night, we will see those clouds start to roll in, and then we will have the cold front come through. And on Thursday, a chance for some thunderstorms, and our high will drop 15 degrees between Wednesday and Thursday, with a high of only 66 on Thursday. On Friday, when the clouds move out, our low temperature will have the chance to dip down into the 30s. So it'll be a very chilly night Thursday and continue into the weekend. So for the typical November weather, the normal high is 63 degrees, and we've been 15 to almost 20 degrees above that. The low is normally 40 degrees, and the average precip is about 3 inches, which we can use every bit of that precip. So hopefully we'll see some sometime this week.
And it does look like temperatures are going to start dropping back into normal average
It
temperatures
will be
again.
much more seasonable, but we will still be a few degrees above average. So even a 20-degree difference.
Well, we'll keep an eye on them.
Okay.
Thanks, Erin.
Thanks, Erin. And that beautiful weather that we had this weekend helped aid a wonderful weekend in Carolina sports.
That's right. The women's soccer team grabbed their ACC title, and also we had a great football win. So coming up in sports, for the second straight home game, Carolina defeated a ranked opponent. We'll show you how the Heels beat Boston College and what that means for their bowl hopes.
Don't walk. Don't walk. Walk. Do not enter. Hot dogs. Definitely like hot dogs. Motorcycle club. Everything must go. Ghostly ghouls. Don't look at that, Teddy. Body piercing. Ouch.
Everyday moments can become teaching moments because learning starts long before school does. Give your child the start they need at bornlearning.org.
Thousands of kids in this country have everything it takes to go to college, except the money. The United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Heather Catlin. We had a lot of big games this weekend, so let's see if we can cram them all into a 6.5-minute block. Let's go. Only twice has the women's soccer team lost in the ACC tournament. One of those times was last year when Virginia swiped the crown from Carolina. On Sunday, a rematch. The Heels were determined not to let the recent history repeat itself.
Obviously, we're thrilled to be ACC champions and to beat an excellent Virginia team in the final. I'm very proud of how my team played. Virginia's a great team, and I thought it was going to be down to the wire.
We just really tried to run their backs, and I think that that's what happened. We started to notice by about halftime that they started to get a little fatigued, and so were we, but I just think that it was more of us wearing them down, and that's what happened in the second half.
Our defense starts with our front runners, and our front runners, as you guys know, kill themselves to play great defense for 90 minutes. Now, it's not easy to play great attack and great defense, but our forwards and midfielders, as well as our backs and goalkeepers, are a part of the reason that this team is so good defensively.
The ACC is just such a strong conference, and this tournament means a lot to any team that's in it, and I think that we come out every year to win it, to get the title back. It means a lot. It was a great team win. I'm really proud of us. We all worked for each other so hard, and we're going to enjoy a day off tomorrow, hopefully.
The Heels won't have to travel far for their first round game in the NCAA tournament. The Heels will host the first team at 5 p.m. at Fetzer Field on Friday. Well, after losing its top 7 scorers, the men's basketball team faces many questions. The Heels provide some answers Friday night in an exhibition game against Fayetteville State. Freshman Tyler Hansbrough swatted this shot, and the Heels were on the run. Junior Rashad Terry finished things off, but Hansbrough wasn't done. This dunk was 2 of his high 26 points. Terry showed he could be a much-needed scorer as well, finishing with 16 points. Carolina struggled on the glass, however, getting out-rebounded by 5. Head coach Roy Williams says the team still has a lot of work to do.
I think we've covered quite a bit of material. They've gone a long ways. They've come a long way. But we've got a heck of a long way to go, folks. I mean, I know the kind of teams we're going to come up against.
The women's basketball team looks to improve on last year's league title. This opening exhibition game against EA Sports is brought to you by the letter L. Lightning-quick Ivory Latta leads Camille Little just enough for this easy inside look. Let's not forget Erlena Larkins, who cleans up to miss by Latta. Latta on the launch pad again, this time to, you guessed it, Latangela Atkinson. Little gets on the action, leaves no doubt with this lay-in as Carolina wins 96-85. With basketball season warming up, football season is entering the home stretch. Reporter Brian Allen takes us through Carolina's huge 16-14 win over 19th-ranked Boston College and what that means for the Heels' bowl hopes.
Wallace Wright bobbled the opening kickoff, but then scampered 90 yards to the end zone. It was the second time this season that UNC has returned an opening kickoff for a touchdown. It was also the second home game in a row that Carolina has defeated a top 25 opponent.
Doing some really good things on special teams. The kickoff return, I should say, to start the ball game. Having our field goal kicker make all 3. It's the difference in the game. Having our team move the ball, run the football some, pass the football some, and playing some pretty doggone good defense against a team that last year took us up behind the woodshed and spanked us.
Matt Baker was 20 for 32 passing, allowing Jesse Holly to set career highs with 8 catches for 125 yards.
We got in the zone, man. I got in the zone, and it just was like everything, nothing else mattered. I didn't care what coverage they were in. I didn't care who was draped over me, where the ball was thrown. I got in a super zone.
Boston College was still threatening after a late touchdown, but Justin Phillips wrapped the game up when he recovered the Eagles' onside attempt. With the victory, Carolina moved one step closer to 6 wins and bowl eligibility.
In Boston College, Carolina only needs to win 2 of the last 3 games of the season to make a bowl. The Heels will host Maryland and Duke at Keenan over the next 2 weeks before traveling to Virginia Tech to battle the 8th-ranked Hokies. Well, after losing to Duke at Duke, the volleyball team was ready to fight for a victory. Unfortunately, with nothing but power from the Blue Devils, Duke showed the Heels they were ready to play and took game 1. The Heels, in game 2 and 3, the Heels fought back with a powerful offense and hits like this from Christy and Danny Nineheis. But Duke didn't give up, taking game 4, forcing a 5th game. Camilla Ihinatu made some crucial offensive plays. The teams traded points until the score was 16-15. Nineheis served the ball and Clark took care of the rest. Oh, how sweet it is.
Just that, I mean, we wanted to win so bad, and every timeout and every, beginning of the game, it was just total focus on winning the game.
For the 3rd time this year, the field hockey team tangoed with Wake Forest, this time in the ACC tournament semifinals. Unfortunately, Carolina still was unable to find a way to beat the Deacons this season, falling 2-1 in overtime. Despite Katie Tron's 11 saves, the Heels were unable to defend their ACC tournament crown. What's unfortunate, the field hockey team did such a good job last year, almost ranked 1, and apparently they just fell apart this year.
Picked up the ACC title last year too, didn't they?
I think they did, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll see if the men's basketball team can pick up where they left off last year, and hopefully they'll repeat as well.
I'm hoping so.
They have a long road to hoe there,
That's
don't
right,
they? All right. Thanks, Heather.
Thank you.
Thanks, Heather.
Coming up on Carolina Week, some people are having an international brand of fun here in the Triangle.
That's right, and kids are getting a taste of other cultures and other parts of the world.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll put that out.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
The Triangle is known for diversity among its residents. Carolina Week's reporter Ryan Gwynn went to the International Festival where people celebrate and enjoy the differences in their backgrounds.
Dorton Arena on the State Fairgrounds in Raleigh was the site of this weekend's International Festival, now in its 19th year. Organizers used the event to create a sense of community among the many different cultures that make up the Triangle.
Everybody, all the different cultures are different, but we pull them all together.
Participators of all ages took part in the events, which included singing, dancing, demonstrations, and a world bazaar for shopping. But the real star of the show was the food.
And I like eating a lot. I like getting to see the different foods and discovering new foods. It's really good.
Finding new foods to try was no problem here, with vendors from all countries showcasing their native cuisines.
There's a lot of new foods that I've never eaten before, so it's a good place to try out all these different cultures and look at what they have.
The festival brought together as one people from many different backgrounds and lifestyles.
It's like a big family, all the different cultures working together, and we work together all year, every year.
Organizers hope that the success of this year's event will spill over into the community for the rest of the year. In Raleigh, I'm Ryan Gwynn, Carolina Week.
That was a great looking, he looked like he had a great time. I actually went to the festival and got to experience some of that culture for myself.
Did you get to eat any of that great looking food?
I did, and way too much.
That'll do it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Have a great night.